Hey everyone, before we dive in, if you love real life stories about family drama, standing up for yourself, and finally getting the recognition you deserve, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's get into today's story. My mom didn't even flinch when she dropped those words right there at the dinner table. You're not half the daughter your sister is. The sentence landed like a punch. The whole room seemed to sway. I slid my chair back, every single year of biting my tongue squeezing my chest, and I heard myself say, fine. Then let her start covering the mortgage. Every fork stopped moving. Dad turned ghost white. Mortgage? What mortgage? He whispered, like saying it louder would make it real. That stunned hush, the panic flashing in his eyes, it was nothing compared to what was coming next. Because the biggest secret still hadn't come out. Hi, I'm Mia Harper, and for pretty much my whole life, I've been the quiet kid in a family that never shuts up about my sister. People think I'm shy. I'm not. I just figured out young that in my parents' house, staying silent was the only way to keep the peace. And I protected that peace like it was made of glass. On the surface, my life looks totally put together. I'm a finance manager at a shipping company down by the Portland docks. I live in numbers, schedules, and systems that actually work. Spreadsheets don't play favorites. Real life does. My days are steady. The beep of forklifts, the low buzz of the office, the soft tap of keys. I go home to a cozy little apartment with warm lighting and a view of the water. Some evenings I make spaghetti, throw my hair in a messy bun, and enjoy the simple stuff I can control. But every single Friday that calm disappears. That's the day I drive out to my parents' perfect two-story house in the suburbs, surrounded by trimmed bushes and the fake picture of a happy family. The second I walk in, I'm 17 again, the backup singer in Lauren's sold-out show. My sister has always been the main event. Tall, bold, the kind of person who walks into a room and owns it. She argued her way to debate trophies, landed a full ride to law school, and stepped into a career everyone cheered for before she even started. Meanwhile, quiet, reliable Mia sat in the shadows and clapped. My parents worship her. Every holiday, every dinner, every get-together, they parade her latest win like it's a gift to the world. New courtroom victories, big promotions, the condo she bought, her travel plans. Everything about Lauren is magic. And me, I put myself through college at 17. I worked 2 jobs. I never asked for a dime. I learned a long time ago that asking didn't help. They didn't hate me. They just loved the louder version of success. Still, I showed up every Friday because they expected it. Dad would say, half joking, half serious, "We saved you a seat. Don't let it get cold." Mom would blow up my phone if I was 3 minutes late. Family first, she'd say, though it usually felt more like Lauren first. Those dinners were always the same. Same roasted chicken. Same small talk. Lauren bragged. I moved food around my plate and pretended the silence didn't feel like a brick on my chest. But the Friday everything exploded felt different from the start. Mom kept shooting me these cold side eyes. Lauren was extra smug, like she was in on a joke I hadn't heard yet. Even Dad's smile looked forced. I could feel the tension building under the clink of silverware. I just didn't know I was the target. Dinner started normal enough, but the air felt heavy. Mom hovered by the stove, stirring the same gravy twice, jaw clenched. Lauren scrolled her phone with a grin that looked practiced. Dad kept clearing his throat like he was about to give a speech. I'd sat through enough Fridays to know something was coming, but I ignored it, set the table, lined the forks up perfectly, and acted like everything was fine. We sat down, and, of course, the conversation went straight to Lauren. She's keynoting a conference next week, Mom bragged. Isn't that incredible? Dad beamed, giving Lauren the proud parent smile he saves for photo ops. Lauren fake humbled her shoulders. Well, they recognize talent when they see it. I chewed chicken and swallowed resentment. I'd spent the whole day cleaning up a disaster at work someone else caused, but that never made the family highlight reel. My win stayed invisible, stuffed in drawers with old receipts. I tried to switch topics. I actually led a huge project this week. My boss said. Mom cut me off with a flick of her hand. That's nice, Mia, but Lauren's work changes lives. It's different. The little dig landed right where she aimed. I stared at my plate and reminded myself to breathe. Just another Friday. Then Dad leaned back with a big sigh. Speaking of houses, Lauren helped us with some mortgage paperwork last month. What a lifesaver. I slid down my spine. 3 years of silent payments started pounding in my ears. Vacations I skipped, grad school I postponed, the down payment on my own place I never made. Also, they wouldn't worry anybody. And now they were handing the credit to Lauren like she'd done anything but sign a couple forms. Heat rose in my chest, slow then fast. Mom must have felt it because she gave me that warning look, the little head tilt that always means shut up and take it. Then she said it, calm as commenting on the weather. You're not half the daughter your sister is. Something inside me snapped open. I pushed my chair back. Slow, deliberate. The legs screeched across the floor and sliced the room in two. Lauren's smirk slipped. Dad looked up like he'd just remembered I existed. I met Mom's eyes, voice steady. Then she can start paying the mortgage. Dead silence. Dad blinked fast. Mortgage? What mortgage? I didn't look away. The one I've been covering for 3 years. 3 faces went slack with shock. Mom recovered first. Mia, don't be dramatic. We never asked you to. Every month, I cut in. You said just this one time, don't tell anyone. We'll handle next month. I handled every month. Dad went pale. This isn't the time. No, I said, standing up. The time was 3 years ago, when you decided to let everyone think Lauren saved the house I kept from foreclosure. Lauren tried, voice small. Mia, maybe you misunderstood. I wasn't listening anymore. For the first time at that table, I didn't shrink. I walked out, grabbed my jacket, and stepped into the chilly night air. My hand shook, but not from regret, from finally speaking. Back in my apartment, I opened my laptop, went to the auto payment screen, and hit cancel. A little box popped up. Are you sure? I clicked yes. The next month, my bank account didn't empty on the 15th. My parents' silence was louder than any argument. I started running along the river every morning, at first just to stop the trembling, but soon the rhythm felt like freedom. I signed up for a Thursday night cooking class, learned to make fettuccine from scratch, and laughed with people who didn't compare me to anyone. Friends dragged me hiking around MT Hood where the air felt brand new. Then one Sunday morning I got a text from our old neighbor, Mrs. Jensen. A photo of my childhood house with a giant banner across the porch. Congratulations, Lauren, for saving our family home. I stared until my eyes burned. Every late night transfer, every skipped vacation, every family first, I told myself erased. I didn't cry. I got mad in a calm, clear way. I pulled out the folder where I'd printed every single payment for 3 years and started organizing. Dates, amounts, bank records. It looked like proof, not papers. That's when my cousin Sarah called. Mia, your parents are throwing a big family appreciation dinner next month in Seattle. They asked me to put together the slideshow. Let me guess, for Lauren? It's worse. They want to thank her for saving the house. They wrote captions calling her the family hero. Send me the file. Mia, are you sure? Positive. When it arrived, I almost laughed. Slide after slide of Lauren posing in front of the house. Arms around my parents. Captions like, "Thank you, Lauren, for keeping our home." I made a copy. After their last slide, I added the truth. Payment timelines, bar graphs, screenshots of Mom's text begging for just one more month. Final slide. Just a photo of the house with white text. The truth deserves a seat, too. I saved it everywhere and carried a USB in my purse like a loaded weapon. A few weeks later, I moved into a bright new apartment in Seattle. Huge windows, light gray couch, my own little oak table, a tall bookshelf. A home that was 100% mine. Then the invitation came. Formal. Family appreciation dinner. Dressed nice. No apology, no explanation. I went anyway. Not to make peace. To finish it. The restaurant glowed warm downtown. Through the windows, I saw relatives I hadn't seen in years. Everyone dressed up like it was an award ceremony. Because for them, it was. I stayed near the door as Dad took the mic. We're here tonight to honor our daughter Lauren, who stepped up when times were hard and kept our family home standing for generations. Applause. Cameras. The slideshow started. Lauren on the porch. Lauren hugging mom. Lauren the hero. Then the screen glitched. My bar chart appeared. Then the dates. Then 3 years of payments laid out in black and white. The room froze. I walked forward into the light. If the truth makes anyone uncomfortable tonight, I said, perfectly calm, that's not on me. Every head turned. Dad stared like I was a stranger. Mom's face folded, not in guilt, but terror of being seen. Lauren looked sick. I kept going. For 3 years I paid that mortgage. Every month. Quietly. While you rewrote history so it was easier to cheer. Dad tried. Mia, let's take this. Why? I asked. You wanted everyone here to know what Lauren did. Now they know what I did. Whispers exploded. 3 years. She paid everything? I knew something was weird. Lauren's voice cracked. I didn't ask them to. You didn't stop them either, I said. You liked being the hero in a story that wasn't yours. Mom finally spoke. We didn't want to embarrass you. By telling the truth? That would have embarrassed you, not me. I didn't yell. I didn't need to. The room was already mine. For the record, I said, I don't want the house. I don't want credit. I just refuse to be erased. I turned and walked out. The cool night air hit my face, and I breathed deeper than I had in years. That wasn't revenge. That was release. 2 days later, there was a knock. Through the peephole, I saw my parents on my doorstep looking old and small. Mom's eyes were red. Dad's shoulders curved inward. I opened the door. They walked in slowly, taking in the sunlight pouring across my new place, the life I built without them. Mom spoke first, voice breaking. Mia, we're so sorry. We were wrong. We never should have let the story get twisted. We never should have put all that on you alone. Dad added quietly, we want to put your name on the deed. You earned it. I let the words hang there. I don't want the house, I said. I have a home. What I needed was honesty and respect, not paperwork. Silence. I'm not angry anymore, I told them. But I'm done being invisible. If we're going to fix anything, it starts there. Something loosened in the room. Not forgiveness, not yet. Just space to breathe. When they left, my apartment felt brighter than ever. I stepped onto the balcony and looked out at the city lights. For years I thought keeping quiet kept the peace. Turns out silence doesn't keep peace. It keeps you small. Choosing myself didn't destroy my family. It destroyed the version of the story that kept me in the dark. And that felt like the real beginning. If you've ever carried something alone or been written out of your own life, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story hit home, please subscribe. There are so many more coming about finding your voice, taking up space, and deciding what family really means when you stop letting other people write it for you. See you in the next one.